Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Circle on Global TV Live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has accepted the resignation of the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong. The presidency confirmed on Monday. Lalong will now proceed to the National Assembly as senator representing Plateau South Senatorial, a seat he won as affirmed by an appeal court ruling dated November 7, 2023. The former Plateau State Governor is due to be sworn in later this week by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. It was gathered Lalong served as Director General of the Tinubu Campaign Organization in the months leading to the February presidential election. Over now to the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu will commission the Ikeja-Along flyover on Tuesday, 19th December 2023. He added that the chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF, also the Governor of Kwara State, Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, will join the Lagos State Governor to commission the project. Sanwo-Olu said this while addressing newsmen after flagging off the commencement of the commercial operations of the Lagos Blue Line Rail. Opening the bridges will give a signal that the Red Line rail is coming up and are almost completing the retrofitting of the trains, he added. Similarly, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has approved 35,000 Naira wage award for the state public servants. This was just as he also approved the payment of 50% of basic salary as an end-of-year bonus for all political appointees and public servants, employees of local governments and local council development area, Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board and the Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps. The approval was contained in a circular obtained and signed by the Lagos State Head of Service, Bode Aguru. The statement further noted that the end-of-year bonus and the wage award, which would be paid alongside December 2023 salary, will be non-taxable. The Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, has pledged to disburse the 13th month's salary to civil servants in the state ahead of the new year. Makinde made this announcement on Sunday night during the 2023 Christmas Carol service with the theme, "Unto Us a Child is Born," held at the Remembrance Arcade Government House at GD Ibadan. Makinde reassured the civil servants in Oyo State, stating, "Consistent with our practice since 2019, adding that he wants to assure the civil servants in Oyo State that, once again, he will be dispersing the 13th month's salary before the close of this year. It's noteworthy that Makinde's administration has constantly implemented the payment of the 13th month's salary since 2019. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has affirmed the re-election of Amadu Fintiri as the governor of Adamawa State. The governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Senator Aisha Binani, has appealed against the judgment of the State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which affirmed Fintiri's re-election after the supplementary election. The Independent National Electoral Commission announced Fintiri as the People's Democratic Party the winner of the polls with 430,861 votes, while Binani of the APC poll 398,788 votes. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has stated its readiness to conduct by-elections to fill existing vacancies in state and federal legislatures. At a meeting with leaders of political parties and chaired by Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, INEC said conduct of the by-election and rerun polls across the country have provisionally been scheduled for Thursday, February 1st, 2024. Sharon Adie completes the report.
Following series of litigations resulting in court orders, the Commission stated that it has an obligation to conduct rerun elections in 34 federal and state constituencies made up of 1 in senatorial district, 11 federal constituencies and 22 state constituencies.
The Election Petition Appeal Tribunals have ordered the Commission to conduct rerun elections in 34 constituencies made up of 1 senatorial district, 11 federal constituencies, and 22 state assembly constituencies. However, the 34 constituencies constitute 2.8% of the 1,191 petitions filed by litigants.
Speaking further, Professor Yakubu noted that the Commission will conduct by-elections to fill vacancies created as a result of resignation or death of elected individuals, adding that a confirmed date for the election and a comprehensive timetable will be released at the end of the meeting with leaders of political parties.
The Commission is also required to conduct by-elections to fill vacancies arising from the death or resignation of members of the National and State Houses of Assembly. The Commission intends to combine and conduct the two categories of elections on the same day.
Sharon Ajay, reporting for Global TV News.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, in a meeting with the chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Major General Buba Marwa, at the NDLEA National Headquarters in Abuja, assured the NDLEA of his commitment to help expose drug traffickers and abusers. At the ongoing meeting, the CDS condemned the spate of drug trafficking and abuse in Nigeria, while commending Marwa for the NDLEA's effort at the raiding Nigeria of the drug scourge. He also promised the continued support of the Nigerian Armed Forces for the NDLEA, while noting that the military would not shield anyone caught with illicit drugs. The Enugu state government says it will reopen one lane of the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway collapse bridge for the use by December 24th. The State Commissioner for Works, Gerald Otiji, disclosed this while briefing newsmen after the State Executive Council meeting held at the Government House, Enugu. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, said 13 cases of dengue fever have been confirmed in Sokoto State. In a statement posted on its official website, the Director General of NCDC, Ifedayo Adetifa, said the outbreak was detected in November. Adetifa said so far 71 suspected cases and 13 confirmed cases have been reported in 3 local government areas across the state. He said 60 cases were reported from Sokoto South, 3 cases from Wamako, and 1 case from Dangeshini. He, however, said no deaths have been recorded from the outbreak, noting that majority of the suspected cases reported fall between the age ranges of 21 to 40 years. Adetifa said the current risk level of the dengue outbreak is moderate based on a dynamic risk assessment. You're watching the News Circle live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. Now, when News Circle returns, NNPCL targets 2 million barrels per day of crude oil in 2024. The news continues shortly with details of these and more right after this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global News Circle. And now on our foreign decks, the EU on Monday announced formal infringement proceedings against Elon Musk's X platform under law cracking down on illegal online content after identifying disinformation related to Hamas' October 7th attack in Israel. It is the first such step Brussels has taken against a major online platform since this year introducing the Digital Service Act, a sweeping piece of EU legislation that cracks down that heightens online companies' responsibility for content moderation. An explosion rocked a fuel depot in the Guinea capital, Conakry, on Monday, injuring dozens of people, according to a doctor and local residents. The explosion, accompanied by a fire, occurred shortly after midnight in the administrative and business district of Kalom, near the port. According to reports, the explosion sent thick black clouds of smoke into the sky on Monday morning as residents fled the area where the blast occurred. Witnesses said dozens of civil protection vehicles had reached the area, but Guinean authorities did not immediately comment on the situation. Stranded residents sheltered on a hospital roof at flash floods swamped northeastern Australia on Monday, with raging waters severing roads and flushing crocodiles into towns. Rescue teams evacuated more than 300 people overnight, police said, and military helicopters were dispatched to help undated areas caught off by the floods. The Australian military used two heavy-lifting Chinook helicopters to ferry supplies and personnel into flood-stricken towns. Police Commissioner Carroll said authorities were thankful they had not seen any deaths or serious injuries during the emergency so far. A man went missing and thousands of people in the Philippines were sheltering in evacuation centers today as tropical storm Jalawat hit the large southern island of Mindanao, causing scattered flooding and power cuts. The storm weakened as it ranked across Mindanao after making loud falls in the morning. But the State Weather Service did the threats of floods and landslides remain. Police in Manay municipality, where Jalawat made landfall, reported one man missing at the swollen Caramon River that besets the coastal town of about 40,000 people. Over now to the Kenyan and European Union on Monday signed a long-negotiated trade agreement to increase the flow of goods between two markets. President William Ruto said as Bristol pursues strong economic ties with Africa, the Economic Partnership Agreement will give Kenya duty-free and quota-free access to the EU, its biggest export market, while European goods will receive progressive traffic reductions. EU Chief von der Leyen said the partnership was a win-win situation on both sides and called on other East African nations to join the pact, which came after years of negotiations that concluded in June. Over now to our business desk, only 0.1% of targeted poor and vulnerable households have received the federal government's recently launched cash transfer of $25,000 per month. This is according to data from the World Bank's lead economist for Nigeria, Alex Siernat, during the presentation of the Nigerian Development Update. According to his presentation document, the federal government plans to make cash transfers to low-income households paying 25,000 naira per month for 3 months. Siernat disclosed that currently 1.5 million households have received the money, and the program is expected to reach 5 million households by the end of December. Retirees under contributory pension scheme have demanded the implementation of minimum pensions. They made their request known in a statement titled "Demand for the Full Implementation of Contributory Pension Scheme in Nigeria," which was signed by the President, Contributory Pensioners Union of Nigeria Ileyele Branch Ibadan, Matthew Shitu. In the statement, they sought the support of Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, the Chief of Staff of the Federation, the Senate President and the Director General of National Pension Commission. The retirees stated current wage upward review of the minimum wage of 30,000 naira to federal civil servants and retirees, which no provisions was made for pensioners under the contributory pension scheme. We demand for a provision to be made for this group of contributory pensioners, in their words. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on Monday expressed plans to produce 2 million barrels of crude oil per day in 2024, stating that this would significantly boost the 1.67 million barrels of oil and condensate the currently produced daily and enable Nigeria to meet 2 million BDP targets set by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. However, Akinyelure admitted that meeting such a target will require overhauling Nigerian security architecture to address pipeline vandalism and other mechanisms deployed in oil theft. And on sports, Cameroon striker Brian Imelbo has been ruled out of the upcoming African Cup of Nations through injury. The 24-year-old Indomitable Lions and Bedford striker have been forced to undergo surgery on his injured ankle, which is expected to sideline him for roughly 12 weeks. Mboamo was injured in Bradford's 2-1 defeat at Brenton and Hove Albion on December 6, with the AFCON set to kick off in the Ivory Coast on January 13th. Mboamo is unlikely to make coach Rigobert Song's final squad for the Continental Showpiece. Algerian international footballer Youssouf Attal goes on trial in France after being accused of inciting hatred after posting a video in which a Palestinian preacher purportedly threatens Israel with a black day. Artel, who plays for La Ligue 1 side Nice, shared the video on his Instagram account, which has 3.2 million followers. Shortly after the attack by Hamas militants on Israel on October 7th, in which 1,139 people were killed. Prosecutors says they also identified another extract in which he called on God to send the Jews a black day and steady the hands of Gaza inhabitants if they should throw stones. The 27-year-old defender, who quickly deleted the post and issued an apology, was suspended by his club, while prosecutors probe the incident for suspected justification of terrorism. And that's it on News Circle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Time, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using @Global TV NG. And other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. See you again.